Okay, so now we're outside. I got my little setup here. I got my safety equipment, of course. Right? I got my flux. I got my solder. I got my nipple, my coupling. I got my torch and my torch head. I got my igniter. And also I got, this is my cutter. This is my abrasive material to clean. Pliers. I got a wet rag. I also have a bucket here, to my right, full of water. So let's go ahead and get on my gloves. Okay, so I already cut my nipple. Okay, so I got my coupling, so I don't need to cut. I do need to deburr. This is my deburring tool. So what this is doing is just kind of cleaning out any kind of burrs, any kind of little chips left from cutting. So let me set that down. I'm going to go ahead and do my coupling. Okay, that's probably a good idea. Get my very fashionable glasses on here. Okay, so here's my coupling. All right, so I want to take a little bit of the abrasive material and just clean a little bit of the fitting, or the nipple, sorry. Clean a little bit of the nipple. All right, so you can see the difference here. I got, my clean surface and then my stock surface. And just a little bit of the coupling. Make sure we're being careful not to take too much of the material off. All right, we don't want any pitting. We're just gonna clean it up. Okay. The next thing we want to do is apply our flux. All right. So you see, this is soldering flux, because it's real like a paste, like a grease. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply that to my nipple. Put a real liberal amount on. Alright, so I'm putting a good amount on here. Go ahead and put some in the coupling. Right, so I want to assemble, turn, take my rag, kind of clean off a little bit of the excess. If we have flux that's running down, what it actually will cause is the solder, if it comes in contact with the solder, will run down on our fitting. We don't want that. We want it to go inside the pipe. Okay, so let me get my solder ready. So this is my solder. I like to make a nice little hook, because when I get the right temperature, I'm going to hold it and I'm going to go around in a fashion like this, okay? Move everything out of the way. Okay, so here's my torch. I'm going to go ahead and open this. My striker. More. Go. So I like to turn this down pretty low. I like to get the temperature up very slowly. So let me go ahead and start the heating process. We want to keep it in one spot, right, until I can start seeing the heat, and then I can actually move the heat around. And I want to move down to the fitting itself. Go ahead, go back up to the pipe. I'm going to go ahead and pull the flame away, and I'm going to see if I can get some soldering. I'm almost there. You can see it melted a little bit of the filler metal. This next pass, it'll be good. And you can see as I touch the filler metal to the pipe, it just melts right through. Okay, get a little bit hotter. Now ideally we don't want this to burn, so if you start seeing your pipe and your coupling or whatever fitting you're putting on to start to turn black, you know you went a little bit too hot. Okay, we're looking good here. There we go. There we go. Nice bead along the front here. I'm going to move it to the back. There we go. Go ahead and turn our torch off. This is where I have a wet rag. Alright, remember it's very hot. So at this point I want to clean it. Go ahead and put this in my bucket of water. Okay, so we can go ahead, zoom in on this right here. You can see we have a nice bead. You can see in some spots where the flux ran over, so even though I wiped it off, there still was an extra amount. So overall, if we look inside, we can see there's a bead flowing through. So that's going to hold up, right? That's not coming apart. So that's how to solder. Okay, so that's how to solder. If you guys have any questions, or leave it in the comments. This was a real basic 101 on how to solder. So if you enjoy this, make sure you like it and subscribe to our channel. Again, this is Brandon Burgess with Irrigator Technical Training School.